Ooh. Where's Jem?
1 out of 200.
Where's Jem? Jimmy? Jem? Jem?
Did you know that on average each person in Britain has a 1 in a million daily chance of some kind of violent or accidental death? To put it in perspective, 1 in a million is roughly the chance of flipping heads 20 times. Imagine it like this. Flip a coin, 20 heads, you're dead. Heads.
You're dead, is it? Yeah.
Heads. Oh dear.
You don't. You've just flipped 20 heads.
Tails.
Jimmy.
It's easy to say that it's 50-50 for a coin to come up heads. But we can even put a probability on things that seem utterly chaotic and unpredictable. San Francisco. In October 1989, a huge magnitude 7 earthquake struck totally without warning. Many people died. Today, San Francisco is its usual laid-back and beautiful self. But the people here know another disaster could hit at any moment.
Crazy. This is crazy.
I know that my family members, we all have the earthquake kits and we try to have things ready. But other than that, we're not very fazed by it, I don't think. Not until the big one comes.
I believe in being prepared, but I also believe that it is safe.
I've been here for over 20 years, and it kind of puts you in a place where you live a little bit more in the moment.
Daddy.
Where, you know, as much as you prepare, there's something can hit at any time.
For millennia, we've met the uncertainties of life with just a fateful shrug of the shoulders. But mathematics can help us quantify fate, even if we can't banish it.
Seismology, do you know what that is? Somebody who studies seismic waves. Yeah.
What we now know from our studies is that the likelihood of a major earthquake hitting the Bay Area is something like 63% over the next 30 years. But associated with this 63% number, which sounds very precise, there's actually a huge range of uncertainty. It could be mid-40% or it could be 80%.
Probabilities are often as much a matter of judgment as arithmetic, but they can still really help people decide what to do.
After the 1989 earthquake, there were a lot of aftershocks, and a woman called me and she said, I'm so nervous to be here. I think I want to drive to Los Angeles to visit my daughter. And I said, I don't think that's a good idea. And she said, why? I said, well, the likelihood that you'll be injured in an automobile accident is much higher than the likelihood that an aftershock will harm you.
There's no escaping chance. But if we can understand how it works, then perhaps we can even turn it to our advantage. This was what the first mathematicians to investigate it hoped to do. To, as it were, tame chance. The scholars of the ancient world, Egyptians, Babylonians, Greeks and others,
Well,
laid
already.
down the foundations for geometry, algebra,
1 in 6
number theory and so much
when you do
more.
dice.
But extraordinarily, they never even got
Easy.
started
You just
on the
like
maths of
say
chance.
like
It
how
wasn't until the
many
Renaissance
times would you
that a
shut
few
a door?
pioneering thinkers first got to grips with probability.
Say 4
Unlike the ancients, they weren't loftily pursuing knowledge for its own sake.
because you obviously shut
They
the
were
door.
trying to crack the secrets of
Good,
gambling.
shut.
The first was Gerolamo Cardano from the Italian city of Milan.
I remember when we were doing
But
at
he
home
was also
See that, Jem?
probability of the weather being
This was written
rainy.
in the 1570s, the earliest known work on probability.
Yeah.
In it, Cardano set out for seasoned gamblers tips and insights, including how to
It
cheat,
looks like talking
and in one chapter, laid out the most
you know when he
fundamental
goes
principle
to
of probability.
mosaic or mosaic or
Cardano realised a
Mosaic.
probability was also a fraction.
what is it?
So with the roll of a dice, the
Mozambique.
probability
Yeah, that's it.
of the sum coming up was 1/6.
Well, you just did that one, see?
And it gets
Yeah.
more interesting with 2 dice.
1 in
2 in.
With 2
12.
dice and 36 possible combinations,
Oh, right.
there's only one way to throw a 2. But you're much more likely to get a 7. Cardano's insight works with games like dice because we can assume that each of the cases is equally likely, provided, as Cardano puts it in his book, the dice are honest. This may seem simple
Don't
to
get
us
me a
now,
picture.
but it was the very first step in working out how to tame chance.